All right, we're in the Korean Classic tournament. We're in the opening round in the rookie division, and the scores are Community Cup scores this week. It is wild. I mean, I've seen some big scores, but Kyle and I were talking yesterday, day before yesterday, and he believes that the minimum score should be minus 32, and I've got it at minus 30 as the minimum. I mean, you got to pick up 3. You got to pick up the 2 easy par 4s, and you got to get an Albie on hole number 5. So hole number 8, that last par 4 is like a 50-50 hole. We really need to make that every time. We really do. But picking it up at least once on either side is going to help, but you really need to pick it up. That puts you at 31 if you can pick it up at once on every side. But that hole is and then we have, that leaves us 5 other holes, and one of them I'm not a fan of, but the other 4 you got serious opportunities. Serious. And I hit 2 of those holes yesterday for the first time. Finally got my numbers right and got my spin right. And so I'm excited to see what this round brings about. Let's go check out, let me go check it out, make sure I'm looking at the right hole. So I'm going to switch my club on this. I've been hitting an APOC off of the island and coming over, and I've been putting on 6 topspin. But I'm going to use my Thor's hammer today because I'm pulling back from the red line, and I'm trying to be right dead center in the middle of the island. But I'm going to bring my Thor's hammer today because it's got better ball guide. It's not quite as far hitting, but it does have, so I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll switch immediately back to the APOC, but I'm going to see if I've got room. We've had favorable wind, but I'm sure in the weekend round we're going to have headwind. And for those people that have been like pushing it with like level 3 ball, power 3 balls on some of the holes, or like on a hole like this, they've been playing it with a power 2 ball, they're going to have to switch up stuff. And even though you would think it's the same, you're farther forward. So that means your first, from where you teed it off to your first bounce was farther forward. That means your second bounce is farther forward. That means your third bounce is farther forward. And so if you're hitting it with a bigger ball, you want to pull it back to the same spot that you were hitting it before. You don't want to make it, you want to, it changes the deal. And so if we have unfavorable, we've had pretty favorable winds up to this point, but if we have unfavorable winds in the weekend round, then all of those shots will change, and the scores will, it will affect them. That's why you want to set these shots up. Try and pick a ball big enough that the ball works for the days that the wind's good, but the ball really works when the days are, when the wind's bad. That way you don't have to make some big adjustment. It's the same thing. Let's see where my red line is. I got plenty of room on my red line with the Thor's hammer. Pull back just a titch. There's 5. There's 6. And a little, because I am a little bit farther back than I've been hitting. 2.0, I'm doing 10%, so it's 2.2. 2.2 divided by 1.7, 1.3 rings. There's 1.3. Shit, the last 3 times I've come here, I've hit it 2 rings straight to the left. Now I could put a little more topspin on it and try and get up into that narrow up there, but if you get, the farther forward you get, the, like if you did hit it great to the left, then you're going to run out of fairway and you're going to end up in the rough. And if you hit it 1 ring great to the right, it might skirt along that rough edge, and that rough edge, the way that the terrain is, it's kind of pushing you back towards the course. But if you hit it 2 rings great to the right or 2 rings great to the left, you'll end up in the rough. But if you try and get way down there to the tip, you can't hit anything to the left. Like where my opponent is right there, like a 1 ring great to the left, they might have just been able to make it, but it would be really close. And so you kind of take, I'm trying to, I think this shot right here is just as easy as theirs, and I'm trying to 2.2 divided by 2.4. Almost a ring. Almost a ring. Isn't it perfect? In the hole, in the hole. All right, we can't get too excited about that because we have to get the eagle there. But I think my shot is just as easy there as it is from where they're at. And I opened the shot up on the drive so that I gave myself a little more room on the drive in case shit didn't go perfect. And even those of you that hit perfect all the time, you still catch a great every now and then. Some of us catch a perfect every now and then. You guys catch a great every now and then. So it'd be nice to give yourself enough room so that in the event that you hit it great, you still got it. And I did eke on a little more toss in there than I've been playing. But you can see how the terrain is here, so it shortens up on this side. So as you're coming along, you're going to, anything to the left, you're going to run in, you know, right here you'd run into the rough. If you get up there where my opponent's at, you look at where a one ring grate to the left is. They're not, that's right there. It might be in the rough, it might not be in the rough, but a two ring grate, they're definitely in the rough. Same thing on this side. One ring grate might skirt right along that edge, but a two ring grate's here. So instead of trying to get this much distance, if I get this much distance arc-wise to the cup, we're about the same. But I open it up on the left, and on the left especially, I could catch a two ring grate. If you're going to set the shot up, man, give yourself an opportunity. Some of you don't need to, but there's a lot of us mortals that we really need to get that right. And I am right on top of this hole. I'm doing a mid. I'm doing plus 25 at mid. So it's 1.25 times whatever the wind is, divided by 1.6. It's like looking at my math going, how did I end up at that number? I had a times instead of divide. All right, enough about my math. And I'm going to take a navigator. During the weekend round, this would definitely be a hole to bring out. Like if once you get the stuff dialed in, this is definitely one that if you got it dialed in, man, bring out a precision ball. Make sure you hit it perfect if you got it dialed in. But I haven't sank it yet, so I don't have it dialed in yet. It's not worth wasting one of my precision balls. The reason you'd bring out a precision ball right here is so that you'd make sure you hit it perfect, so you'd know whether or not that adjustment. Now I'm taking the chance that I don't hit it perfect, and then I have to play it again to see, until I can hit it perfect, to see if that shot actually works. And I got a Kingfisher, 1.6 at mid, plus 25%. That was a big move. Hit it perfect. Didn't that seem like it was a big move? I guess not. Almost made it there, bro. I missed a putt on this the other day. I rolled past it, and you do not want to go past this cup. I rolled past it and rolled off on the back and didn't make it all the way down to the fringe, which you never do. Sliver of backspin, 3.1, 2.42 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. .242. Hitting it perfect. better go in. No, I'm in the same shit that I was in the other day because it'll keep rolling. Stop. But at least that time I over pulled it. So I've been missing it on the where I've been under pulling it. So at least I got it to the other side of the fence. Let me do some math here real quick. Let me make this putt. So that was 2.42 at 25%. And it had been 2.32. And the deal there is that just a little bit, as you're rolling down that hill, a little bit of change in direction will float you because it's drifting off towards the hole. Change that to a 20. 20. All right, hole number 3. I got an Albie on this hole yesterday. And I was I brought out, because in my 88 account, or excuse me, my odd account, I don't have a big ball inventory. And in order to get over here, because we had a slight headwind on the front, I brought out, it might have been on the back, out a 4.44, and I just went for this shot right here, and the 4 side spin really helped go into the cup. Really helped. So on my notes it's like 3 side spin or more. So let's see if I have let's make sure which way the wind's blowing. I got good wind here. So I could potentially bring out a 3 power ball with that wind. It's got side spin, but a 4 power ball with side spin would work even better. Man, these balls are so helpful, but I don't need the top spin boost. I'd need the top spin boost if I was trying to clear it, but I'm not trying to clear it. I'm just trying to rough bump myself out. And a Berserker doesn't have enough. Let's put power at the top. Berserker doesn't have enough side spin. I'm going to bring out one of the zero wind balls. I need my biggest hitting club here, but I need it with the Goliath in the bag. And I'm doing I don't have anything down for the shot to the drive if I'm adding on wind on the drive, but it seems like we're way downhill, and the way the wind's going through there, we need to do some kind of an adjustment, maybe just a plus 10 or something. I'll have to pay attention when I take the shot here, so I can see like where my first bounce is landing up versus where I'm aiming. Here we go. Yeah, shouldn't have to do any wind at all, just to bleed out right there. So 5 wind. I'm going to take out, if I do a 10%, that would be 6, so that's basically 3 rings. Isn't it perfect? And I probably should have put a little bit of top spin on, or a little bit of overpower, put a little bit of wind back in it I would have liked to have gotten out there farther. The farther out there you can get, the more you're straightening up the shot. And the sooner you, like where I'm at, if you're closer to the rough right there, the shot is at a pretty big angle where in order to give yourself enough room up there at the front, you need more side spin to bring it back around to where the hole's at. And I've been doing this at just 0. And it should be 2.2 per ring, so it's whatever the wind is divided by 2.2 per ring. My opponent's got one of the new balls. And they're going to clear it and then just run up there, and they're going to be in like long. If you get up there far enough, if you do that shot right, you can get into short iron range. So I'm not sure from where they're at if they're in short iron range or not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Goliath, 4.2, 1.9 rings. I will be short. Now if I could get up here, get all of the side spin to get me up there. Man, that's fucking narrow. 2 rings, 1.9. Hitting it perfect. I was kind of rushed there at the end. I over-pulled that slightly, but I looked like on the thing I pulled like one, almost 2. Slight overpull. That's the thing about just barely getting over, is your angle coming to the cup. You really want to be up towards the tip, and you really need side spin. So if I'd have brought out a 3 side spin ball, I wouldn't have been able to take the shot. I would have had to just go for it. Couldn't bring it around. But if you hit closer to the end of the rough, coming out onto the fairway, you get a much bigger bleed coming out there, and it opens that angle up. Where my opponent hit, they've got the straight on angle, so they don't really need a side spin ball. My issue with that shot is that you can get up there on days that we have good wind, but on days that we have headwind, it could be difficult to get up there, and you're going to end up where I'm at. And if you haven't practiced that shot, but I can get where I'm at every time, and that is crazy. They were in the perfect spot and ended up in the rough, and they had a fucking absolute awesome shot at Albie, and now they're in the risk of getting a birdie, and their drive was spectacular. What a poor shot with a Hornet. What were you thinking? I wasn't even paying attention to their shot. I was looking at the math. They obviously didn't set it up right. And then they hit it 57 rings great to the left. Oh shit is right, dude. I need to go back and see what you did on that second shot, because you were there. Fuck, you were in short iron and you blew the green. You got to really be screwing up to do that. Hole number 4. This is of the holes in this game, this is the one that's it's just whatever it ends up being. Taking a sniper and a navigator. I've been working on the shot from behind, but I haven't had any luck on it either. I'm going straight at it. And I have no idea what the adjustment number needs to be, but it seems like I haven't been pulling in enough. If I do a 1-to-1 see what the wind is here. Let me think. All right. I have no idea on this hole. I have made some hole-in-ones on this hole, but I always felt like they were luck. And it's especially bad now. If I can get an opponent. That's a big if. I'm at minimum club, so it should be 1.2. So if I did a 1-to-1, that's 20% right there. My opponent goes first. Maybe. Lippy goes first. Let's see what they do. 1.5, almost 2 of each. And they didn't move it. That was a no move. Let's see what happens when they do the no move. Perfect. They should have added on a little bit of wind there. Let's see what that looks like. They had 2 and 2 on there. That's 2 and 1. Quasar. 2 and 2. One right at it. 4.4, 5.1 rings. Isn't it perfect? Smoked the hole. That was max at 15%, no move. I didn't move the ball. And that was what I was using 4 backs, like I was going straight out before. I was using 4 backspin and 1 left-hand side spin. But I don't think I had 2 side spin on it there, and I might have still had the 4 backspin, not moving it, plus 15%. And the way the wind was going there, I over pulled it just a little bit, so I should have been like minus 0.1. Let me make a note here. It is 1-to-1 plus 15% plus 0.1. No move. And that was like, and that's 2. I have to change the ball to a Quasar, and that's 2 right side spin. And I'd have to go back and look, but it was like maybe 3 or 4 backspin. All right, I'm gonna try that shot. I haven't had any luck with the other ones, so I'm gonna try that one. That's the closest I've been all week, so we will try that. Try the no move. Hole number 5. Oh shit, we got to get an Albie on this hole. There's just no 2 ways around it. You got to bring out whatever you got in your bag. You got to bring out whatever ball it takes so that you can try and make this as easy as possible. And we need a 5 power. We need more than 2 topspin bays, so we're in this ball right here. The side spin's not that big of a factor, but the new ones have 2 side spin. That could be helpful, so we'll bring one of the new ones. And I have 5 of those. I'm gonna play with this. The side spin's not gonna come into it. And I'm gonna bring my extra mile because it hits the farthest. And which way is the wind blowing? I'm doing plus 30. So 1.3 times whatever the wind is. divided by 2.1. What we don't want to have happen on the drive is where we overdrive it and we clip the rough on the island. So we do not want that to happen. We want to be tight up there at the top. We don't want to give away too much on that first bounce, but we don't want to take any risks that we're going to hit it. So I'm doing a 30% adjustment, and it's hard to tell where you're hitting up there because the camera angle, you're way back, and you can see it bouncing there. It looks like it's close, but it dips right there, so you can't really tell how close you are. I go first. I'm right up against the red line. I'll pull back to 2 rings. It's all the stuff plus 2.5 topspin. Six, 3.71 rings. There's 3.71. Hitting it perfect. Had plenty of room. Just hoping it would break off. If it enters the course right there, that was the perfect speed. If it enters the course up there at the top, when it hits on that hill face where the ridge is at, and it's like going towards the cup, if you catch that first bounce on the right hand side, then it changes the direction of the ball and makes it a right hand shot, and you can end up in the rough. I usually like to play those types of shots with a little bit of curl, so it doesn't matter if it hits that hill face and it's now pushed off to the right, because the shot was set up that it's always going to go to the left. I usually like to put, like, I'll direction my shots, but that was just straight up. All right, all I got to do is hit this perfect. It goes in the hole. It's a 1/4 of a ring. How far did that move me off the hole? Oh, fuck. Smoked it. It's breaking to the right, so the deal is that a great to the left is the only, if I hit a great to the right, I would have missed the cut by a mile, but great to the left, as it's going down the hill, it's breaking to the, or excuse me, great to the right, it's breaking to the left, and it could end up dropping in the hole. If I'd had my speed absolutely perfect so that the ball would have ended at the cup, it would have went in. Bummer. Dropped the shot. That's a dropped shot right there. That means I have to get hole number 8 just to get to what I would think it'd be, because you got to get hole number 8 at least once. Now I'm going to have to get hole number 8 both times. Got to get it here to cover my ass, and I got to get it on the back to get the shot that I really need to pick up. I shot a 17 on the back yesterday on my practice account. I shot a 15 on the front and a 17 in the back, and was doing pretty well on the backside, so I feel good about, like, where I'm at. I don't like ending up in the rough on that shot. I've taken the shot from being off the green right there quite a few times, but the shot, I don't like really taking that shot from the rough. To be honest, that's not what I'm looking for. This is another hole that, to standardize the shot and really go for it, I'm bringing out a berserker. This is another one of those holes that a ball with more side spin would help. But I don't really want to waste my topspin boost stuff because I'm using a little bit of backspin here, and I'm going to bring my Thor's hammer bag. And let me make sure I got my numbers here. So I got Thor's hammer. It's 1.6 because I'm bringing a power 5 ball, minus 0.1. plus 30 on the drive, plus 0.1, 1.3 times whatever the wind is, divided by 1.6 plus or minus 0.1. All I got to do is put in the wind and make the move. My buddy Dale Appleby has an app that's out there. I'm not sure if it's available yet in the App Store. He was using it, so I'm not sure if he's just using it to play test it or what the deal is, but looked pretty interesting. Especially if you're new. If you're new, you need to, I would highly recommend using the app. Two backspin, I'm doing 2.7, 2.1 rings. Isn't it perfect? And I did a 30%, but I probably needed to do like a 40. Making notes on my note sheet. If I did a plus 40 there instead of 30, instead of 2.9, it would have been 2.26. So instead of 2.1, it would have been 2.3. It's plus 0.2 of a ring. When you're hitting it that far, I mean, you're at max club, so if you think about the ring size on that and where you'd be off, you know, that was, the farther out you go, the wider the ring gets. So a small adjustment at the top, like a quarter of a ring, because that would have been basically a quarter of a ring. A quarter of a ring is, well, 0.2, a fifth of a ring. The farther out you get, especially on max like that, that distance that it widens out. I'll try a 10%. Eagle. And that was with 2 backspin. I like the maybe 2 and a sliver, 2 1/4 backspin. It seemed like I had 1 1/3 right hand side or left hand side spin. I don't think I had 2 full bars. But I was definitely up against my red line. On a headwind day, I'd have to bring out a bigger hitting club. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. Alright, I'm doing the rough bump on this, and I am so... Yesterday did I make this one yesterday? I might have made this one. I might have made 2 hole-in-ones yesterday, and if I missed this one, I barely missed it. Ball guide just passed. Taking a Goliath and a Katana. Which way's the wind blowing? Headwind, of course. Goliath. I'm taking a Katana. And I'm putting on 1 right hand side spin, and I think it's 7 top spin. And I'm trying to be through the cup. So the cup is here, and then we've got a square, and then we got a square, and I hit it pretty fast yesterday. I think I made this one and I just put it like 1 square behind, but on the other one I put it 2 squares behind because I wanted to make sure I got the distance, see if my trajectory was right, and it hit the flagpole and went in. But if it hadn't hit the flagpole, if it came off on the side, it would have rolled past the cup. It would have rolled over it. Katana and a Goliath. Ball guide just passed the cup. I'm playing at plus 15% times the wind divided by 2.2 per ring. All right, we are ready to roll. Plug in the wind, set up the spin, take shot, hit perfect, go in the hole. That's the order of operation here. Make the wind adjustment. We'll throw that in there somewhere. Twice if we need to. If I can get an opponent. When I get an opponent. I know we all bitch about sitting here spinning like this, and they could speed this shit up right here, because anybody who's playing the rookie tournament should be able to play against each other, so we can speed that up. They don't need to make it that tight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you play on the course. It's all about who you're playing in the field, in your bracket. So, like, you may go against somebody that's tier 3 and you're tier 1 when you're playing when you're playing in the round here, but 3.7. There's 6, there's 7. .93 rings. That's 1.95 maybe. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. I'm not sure if I did a plus 20, what would that be? That would have been 2.1 versus the 1.95, so it's probably like plus 0.1. Plus 15. What if I did a 17 and a half? That's plus 15 plus 0.2. With that wind, with a headwind. At least I gave myself a shot at it. Because there's nothing worse than being in front of the hole, even in real golf. I mean, the joke in real golf is my husband's playing in the bracket behind us when you're short like that, because you don't give yourself a shot at it. It's better to be, like when you're out there on the real course, it's better to be long and hitting back to the cup, and you at least gave yourself a look at it as you breezed past it, than to be short and on track. The problem with on some of these holes is it looks like you're on track. You think, hey, everything's good, I just need to get my distance. But once you get the right distance, and it's got that extra little bit that it travels, it's braking as it's going towards the cup, and it breaks off, so you need to make an adjustment. So you got to get your distance right. Okay, hole number 8. Hole number 8. Alright, I'm playing this my traditional way, which is the old-fashioned way. I'm not bringing out anything big on this hole. Playing it with my number 1 bag, and let me change that up in this to a Kingfisher. I'm playing it with a Katana. I already got that ball picked. Ready to roll. Get that chest rolling. It's the 1-1. Okay, I'm doing 25 on the drive, plus 25 times the wind divided by 2.1. And then a mid-rapier shot to the cup at plus 10%. It seemed like on one of these rounds I needed to do like plus 10 plus 0.1. I made it both times in my 88, or excuse me, my odd account. But one of the times with the wind, it might have been on the back, the way the wind was blowing. It was right, but I just needed to add on a little bit, a smidgen, a tick. a 0.1, if you will. I'm going to go first. Wow, my opponent goes first. Look at that. And my opponent is trying. I see a lot of people this week that are trying to get over to the green, and I've only seen one person actually make it into the clear in the throat, and everybody else has ended up in the sand or the rough. Most of them in the sand, one in the rough. And they're not going to get to where they wanted with a 3-ring great to the right on a shot that needs to go to the left. And they ended up in the sand, right? And they obstructed their view, so they don't have a clear shot at it. Max top spin and however much side spin you can get on too. Pulling back here and aiming right to the center of that tree so that it bounces off to the left. 3.9, 2.32 rings. 232. Max curl. Perfect. Hit the rough, bleed out in front. Mid wedge to the cup with a katana, and I'm so far behind the red line that it doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing, I can take the wind out. I'm doing 25 on the wind. If you've got a lower developed extra mile, it doesn't have as much curl, aim right at the left edge of the tree, and you'll have to work it out where you're out on the tree. Like at the beginning of the week, I tried where I was pointing at the tree and the ball guide was then running off to the right, and that works great when you hit a great to the right and a perfect, but with a great to the left, it's too long of a run through the rough and you get stuck in it. So I moved it over so that the ball guide's floating off onto the left-hand side of the tree, and I hit it great to the left. I haven't hit it great to the right, so I can't say that that works, but 1.1 times 3.1 divided by 2.4, 1.42 rings. 142. 1.42 rings. There's 145. Getting it perfect. Oh, plus 0.1. Plus 0.1. Right there. That's the one I was talking about where you got to do the plus 0.1. That's it. That's the one. And I think it was the same way on the back too. I just made it on both of them, but I think I made it right on the edge of the cup. Arr. That's all right. I'll just have to make the Albie on the last hole. Still working on the second shot. On this last hole. In this last hole, there's okay, so hole number 9. Hole number 9. You can try and get, I'm seeing a lot of people trying to get right up against the sand trap up here, and I've seen a couple that actually made it up to here. And let me tell you, from here you don't have, there's no rough bump, you're just taking the shot, but you were in shit, if they weren't short on, they were in max wedge. I mean, and you could probably run max wedge if you're using a rapier, but I'm trying to just get right here so that I have this shot come into the cup with a Hornet. It might be with a Grizzly. I think it's with a Hornet. It's a Hornet from here, and they're in wedge right here. You can get out to that miraculous spot with a power 5 ball. Let me see what my inventory is. This one I don't. I think I need some spin on the second shot. I don't really need a top spin boost ball. I think it helps if you have spin so that you can stay farther back, and I have to burn one of those top spin boost balls. and bring it out because I really want to use that side spin, and it's got better wind, so I'm burning one. I'm going to take my extra mile, and if I am here, I need to bring a Hornet. I do need a Hornet in this bag. Kingfisher does not have enough oomph to get me up there, but actually, do I have another bag? That one's got the Hornet. Let me switch this one. Let me switch this first one because I don't know that I'm using a Kingfisher on Hornet. And a Grizzly will work on the second shot if I'm in long iron. All right, here we go. And I need to write down some numbers here. I'm doing plus 30 on the drive. I've been doing plus 20 on the drive, and I don't think it's enough. So I'm going to up it to 30 today. The deal is, if you hit it over there to the left, you do have several options. You can bounce it off the island and do a second bounce rough bump, or you can do a rough bump, but that rough over there is so damn steep that I really don't like to do rough bumps on that kind of rough. It's too steep. You can recover from there, but yes, I agree. I do. Divided by 2.41 rings. Put me a little bit into power. One ring great to the right, and we'll see if that kills me. Because it drifts off on the right hand side over there, and it's easy to, and you run out of fairway really quick and you end up in the rough. I wouldn't have this problem if I wasn't trying to stick in the middle. If I wanted to get closer to the sand trap, and that may be what I need to do, is to try and, if I'm going to take the risk of getting caught in the rough half the time because it breaks off so bad there on anything other than a perfect, I might as well try and get past the sand. All right, so my shot to the cup is at plus 20 times the wind divided by, I don't know where I'm at in my club, but that's probably a max shot. We'll see. %, times the wind. 2.7 divided by, there's max, there's mid, I'm in 3/4, so it's 2. 1.62 rings. See if I have enough topspin to get me up there. I should with the topspin boost ball. .62 rings. There's 1.562. I'll be lucky if I don't get caught in the rough. I hit the rock. I will get caught in the rough. I was so far off, so far I hit that rock and got the bounce instead of a rough bump. The most important part about hitting a rough bump is hitting the rough. I dropped 2 in one round. Look at that. I barely made it. I was the only 14 that made it in my qualifying round. Everybody above me had a 15, but I had a, I'm not sure what I had on there that separated me from other 14s, but I was the only 14 that got in. That's pretty stout when you got to shoot a 15 just to qualify. I might be able to hit a great to the left and a perfect. Not a 2-ring great to the left though. All right. I dropped 2. I dropped 2 in 1 round because I hit the rock. Look at that. It fucked up the drive. I wasn't in the spot that I wanted, and I was still going for it with my wood, with my rough iron, and ended up with a 13. Dropped 2 shots. Look at that. Not good. And didn't pick up the second one. So I mean, like, I got my work cut out for me. I have to shoot the 17 or 18 on the back just to qualify for the weekend round. Is where are we at right now? I mean, it's the second day of opening, so like, what does it take to qualify right this very second? You got to shoot a 28 or better, and how many 28s are there? I may get lucky and with a 28 or a 29, but that means I got to shoot a 15, 16 on the back just to get to the point where I might qualify. All right, I like the challenge. I'm ready for it. I think I'm ready to shoot an 18. I really think I got an 18 in store for me on the back. The last time we had one of these tournaments, I peaked in the opening round, and then I was able to kind of hold it together in the weekend round and still won. But I would rather peak in the weekend round, so maybe I can eke in right here and then peak. Thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit like. It does help the channel if you hit like. Make comment on it. I'll respond if I can. Thanks for watching.